When I CS, I was telling you that I also run a gang. That's my gang. To our CS, Honorable Senator Murkomen, our PS, Raymond Omolo, our organs of security in this county, our organs of administration, ladies and gentlemen, when I see us with your permission. Wamor koso kwa mor. Wase beta inya koso kwa beta inya. Lakini ber koso kuber. If you don't speak like that, then you've not come to this part of the world. When I see us, I have the privilege of being a member of the Security Committee, which actually oversights your ministry. And we work very closely with the PS and the CS. And I'd like to say that every time I tell you that when you come to Kisumu County, you will hear it all. You've seen the passion, you've seen the eloquence, and you've seen the knowledge with which the people have spoken. Without any fear of contradiction. I'm sure that out of all those 41 places you've gone, ujaona eloquence kama hii, true or not true. And so I want to go a little out of protocol. They, except for Kiswahili, they have been the ones who are clapping. But I want the people on this side to please clap for all these people of Kisumu County. Thank you very much. Bwana CS, I also want to confirm to the people of Kisumu County that most of the issues that have been raised here are issues that you're already tackling in your ministry and we're already tackling within our committee. When I last spoke to you and we discussed issues of recruitment of chiefs and assistant chiefs, we clearly talked about affirmative action. And I want to report here that the CS was categorical that there will be affirmative action in recruitment of sub-chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the chiefs. And indeed, when I told you that the women or the female chiefs perform, I don't need to go too far. You've seen it today. So affirmative action is something we have to do, so that when we stand up or we have 256 chiefs and assistant chiefs in this county, you can clearly see that 1/3 is of the other gender. That would be a good point to start. Again, because you come from a human rights background. So that is something we must achieve. I want to talk about resurgence of gangs. They might not be able to tell you, but it is something that's happening in this county. And we cannot allow it. We cannot allow it. But unfortunately, the people fueling that resurgence of gangs are leaders. When you see border fighting Mambogi, what their leaders behind them. And this is something we have to tackle because we just have 2 years into elections. We all remember the time when we had gangs and fights of gangs in this county. There was the Americano and there was China squad and things could not move. We don't want to go back there. So I just want to request you to give your security organs good support because it will be the breakdown of this county. And we will also do our part as leaders, me included, so that we know that even if we want to be elected, it's the people who elect. You speak to them, they listen to you, they either vote you or don't vote you, but you cannot use violence. Because when there's violence in Kisumu, the whole country catches violence. It all begins with us. Look at how peaceful we were during last demonstrations. The demonstrations died. Because nobody has passion and stamina like the people of Kisumu County. When a PS, we've talked about that with you. And I know you've said you've got an outline of what you're going to do, just so that we don't see any violence coming up again. I want to talk about these chiefs. I was in the Legale Commission, and I traversed the whole country. And despite the fact that I am a strong believer of the Constitution, the one part that I didn't agree with was that we must do away with provincial administration. I'm telling you, this is the government, what you see here. This is the government. There are parts of this country where they don't know any government and they don't see any government except the assistant chief and chief. So we must look after these people. And when they tell you that sometimes they risk their lives at night and go to the changa dens and arrest the people with their changa and take them to the police station because they don't have anywhere where they can hold the changa people, the brewers, and the brew itself. The next morning when they want to take the people to court, the changa is gone and the people are gone. And that is why it is so important that the police and the chiefs work close together. Otherwise, this menace of changa will not be defeated. The chiefs can do their jobs, but like they say, they don't have any other thing apart from taking the changa brewer to the police. But if we let them scot-free, then what is happening? We are not going to do anything. So we must work together. I want to also report that the members of parliament in Kisumu County are really working hand in hand with your ministry, because the mandate of members of parliament is within education and security sector. In my constituency, for example, we've got very many chiefs' offices built. And when I talk about offices, I'm not talking about single rooms that don't give you dignity. I'm talking about offices. In our constituency, we've also done a police headquarters, sub-county headquarters, which is complete. And I will request you through the PS that could we kindly have it opened so that all the police departments can actually be housed there. The reason why we do this is to enhance security. But when a PS, my last point is, we have always talked about following the policy that no police officer should stay in a station serving for more than 3 years. But we did not mean that you post a sub-county commandant as is coming up with strategy to enhance security in an area. Within 3 weeks, he's already transferred. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I have a case in point in my constituency, and I'm sure in other constituencies the same thing is happening, where the transfers are now just like this, and between an old or the old officer who is leaving and the new one, there's then the criminals take a lot of advantage, and there's a lot of crime that's enhanced. So let's just look at that policy so that at least when you have an officer dealing with security issues in a particular constituency, they are given opportunity to act and to see the results of their action before you can transfer them and bring somebody else. Otherwise, I want to thank you. And like Mheshimiwa Catherine has said, what you've done today, or this idea you've come up with, this is what the country needs. Because you are bridging and you are killing and demystifying that thinking that police is for beating people and security is supposed to be secret, because now you are talking to the people. And I'm telling you, these people are going to work hard, not because they are waiting for salary, but they'll begin to feel like they're working for Murkomen. I'm telling you that. Because now they know you. They've seen you. They've felt you. And I think this was a big plus. Apart from this, what you also did on the TV station the other night, I've already told the PS that. That was a big plus too. Because you demystified everything. You talked to Kenyans. You allowed them to ask you questions because you have no secrets to hide. So on behalf of our Committee of Security of National Assembly, I want to thank you for this step you've taken, and I want to thank you for the support you're giving us, but I also want to thank you on behalf of all these people that we hope you will come again.
Thank you. Bwana Waziri, allow me to acknowledge the presence of former Nyakach MP, Honorable Ochieng Daima was in our midst. Is he still there? Bwana Daima is seated